So today I wanted to talk a little bit about edible flowers. So this is one crop that is often overlooked, especially for home gardeners, but it is just an incredible crop that I highly encourage everybody that gardens at home to try. And obviously if you have a farm, it's even more important. So there's 3 reasons I love edible flowers. So one reason is almost every edible flower that I'll talk about today is a natural pesticide. So pests absolutely hate most of these different products or crops. So for example, geraniums, which are wonderful in teas, confections, they smell incredible. In Switzerland, Germany, and northern Italy, a lot of the small villages have these beautiful picturesque window boxes full of geraniums, and they do that because a lot of insects don't like them, so it keeps the insects from going into their house, including mosquitoes. So that also will protect your crops. So this is something that is actually protecting your crops that are on your farm. Even pansies, some of the ones that I don't have because it's a little early in the season, marigolds, whether it's calendula, that's one that's common for teas, or just standard marigolds. They're edible, they're beautiful, but most pests absolutely hate them. And same with nasturtiums. So nasturtiums are so easy to grow. They're really prolific. They'll give you just bloom after bloom after bloom. I love them because they're so easy to grow. But they are incredible as a pest management tool. And what's really neat is your pollinators love these. So this is basically like planting a pollinator habitat in your garden, and at the same time keeping away the invasive species. So who wouldn't want to have all the great pollinators but keep all those nasty pests away? So as an organic regenerative farm, we love to build up pollinator habitats, but we also love to mitigate pests as much as possible, and we do that through a lot of planting of what happen to be edible flowers. So that's the first reason I love them, is they're natural pesticides without all the nasty chemicals and synthetic stuff that comes along with pesticides. The second part that I like about them, again, is the pollinator aspect. They add all this pop of color to your garden. They bring bumblebees, they bring butterflies, and when you grow a variety of them, you get pollen nectar flow for a very long season, which is really important if you want to build up habitats for your pollinators. So you're actually supporting your pollinators when you plant these edible flowers. And the ones I recommend, because they're very easy to grow, is nasturtium. You can get in your local nursery pretty much anywhere. They're very common. I get usually a color variety, and we plant these on the end cap of almost every single one of our crop rows are either nasturtiums or marigolds, and it's because they're great deterrents of pests, but it's also because they're beautiful and they attract our pollinators. The other one is, again, marigolds, very easy to grow. They like a little bit warmer soil, so I would plant them around the time you put your tomatoes in the ground. And then I love pansies and violas. So I have a lot of those here. They're beautiful in salads. They're very delicate flavor-wise, so they're like a little bit of a peppery spinach. So some of these, like snapdragons, are beautiful. They're fun for kids. They are edible. They don't taste that great, so I usually use them just as a beautiful garnish. I also plant them because a lot of pests don't like snapdragons. But pansies and violas are ones that I would recommend because they're very easy to grow. Chives. So chives are, especially this variety, beautiful purple chives. Also, pollinators love chives, but most pests hate the allium family. So that's your garlic, onions, chives. So they're actually really good to intercrop with other crops. And then the last 2 are bee balm. Absolute incredible, native to North America. We plant these all over the farm in our pollinator habitat. And then borage. Borage is probably, in my opinion, one of the best flavored edible flowers. It's very lemony, very delicate, very easy to grow. We even grow this as a microgreen. So those are the varieties that I would recommend. We buy them in bulk, but I really like this brand for my personal gardens. They're a good company. I like them, and they have organic. So that's the second reason I really like edibles, is that they support the pollinators. And then the last reason, which is probably the most important reason as a food company, is they are an absolute superfood. I mean, a powerhouse of phytonutrients. So if you recall, phytonutrients are usually manifested in pigmentation. So all of these different colors represent a different spectrum of phytonutrients. I love lavender because I just find it relaxing. I love the smell of it. So lavender alone has over 100 phytonutrients, different phytonutrients, and you can absorb it about 60% of the oil in your skin. You can even get the aroma, but you can also turn lavender into tea and confections. So it's one of my favorites. It's a little bit harder. The reason why I didn't have seeds for it, it's a little bit harder for a home gardener to grow lavender. If you're experienced, give it a try. We grow it on the farm. But a lot of people, it's just good to buy a potted lavender and you get all those same benefits of it. Another one that I don't have on here, but it's very common, is rose petals. A lot of really good phytonutrients, a lot of vitamin C, minerals, and I like it as a tea. And I also, in fall, will harvest the rose hips, which are a very good booster basically as you go into winter. So I'll also make that into a tea. So I really love teas like this that are floral and fragrant, and I will do that sometimes with my lavender as well. And then there's the edible component, like adding to a charcuterie platter or a fruit platter where you already have a pop of color, but it just adds this additional kind of fancy element, and again gets those really high phytonutrients. Just as an example, nasturtium is one of the highest contents of any food in the world of lutein. So, I mean, you get just a pack of lutein with a few nasturtium flowers and even the leaves. So that's one that is just a powerhouse as well. These are oftentimes not talked about when we talk about superfoods, but they absolutely are. I love pansies. They're beautiful. They're also very broad spectrum of phytonutrients. They're great in salads. They're great in fruit platters. I kind of use them for everything. Another fun trick, it's a little warm in here today, so I didn't bother trying to do them, but I love filling an ice tray with any of these edible flowers, and the ice actually preserves the color. So you can have just a glass of water or a cocktail with these beautiful flowers floating around. So it's a really fun thing to do in summertime if you really want to impress anyone that you're entertaining with different beverages. And then even confections, I do rose petal chocolate every once in a while, make chocolate slabs with that, with dark chocolate. So there's a lot of really delicious things you can do with it as well to just give that extra bit of elegance, and then again get these superfoods into your body. So that's why I absolutely love edible flowers, and why I recommend home gardeners really try to start incorporating these into their garden. I put them at least in every corner of my raised bed garden, and as I mentioned on our farm, we put them at the end caps of our rows because of all the great things that they do.